Welcome back to the daily entertainment feed on Fiddler Music, with me as editor Olivia. Today, let's take a look at some breaking entertainment news in the past 24 hours. Thank you for always supporting and accompanying us. Come to the following hot news. Cheryl Burke recalls finding text messages from another girl on her ex's phone. Olivia Wilde on being publicly served custody papers. There's a reason I left, Jason Sudeikis. Newlyweds Ben Affleck and Jennifer Lopez are hands-on while shopping during Italian honeymoon. Shia LaBeouf says his life was on fire before turning to religion in rare interview. Cheryl Burke recalls finding text messages from another girl on her ex's phone. Cheryl Burke uploaded a cryptic TikTok video, alleging that she caught one of her exes cheating on her. See her message below. Cheryl Burke is not dancing around the truth. The Dancing with the Stars pro, 38, shared a bombshell revelation on TikTok on August 24, revealing that one of her exes had cheated on her. Over a 7-second video of herself looking gloomy, she wrote, "When he said he would never talk to her again, yet I found text messages, Viagra, and a necklace hidden in a pair of his shoes." Cheryl captioned the post, "The last time is absolutely right. Goodbye forever." While Cheryl never named who the ex was, many fans in the comments section of her TikTok believe she was referring to her ex-husband Matthew Lawrence, who she filed for divorce from in February. One person commented, "It's sad to think Matthew did that. Kind of dampers his image for me," while another wrote, "Matthew? I expected better, but it seems a man has let me down yet again." After nearly 3 years of marriage, Cheryl filed for divorce from the Boy Meets World alum on February 18, citing irreconcilable differences as the reason for the split. A week later, the pro dancer asked for privacy surrounding her divorce, writing in a February 24 Instagram post, "I know I have always said that I'm an open book with you guys. I do strive to be, and in writing this I've realized there isn't really an easy way to announce that my marriage is ending." She added, "I hope you can understand that I will not be commenting any further at this time and am asking for privacy." During a May 4 episode of The Tamron Hall Show, Cheryl shared that she and Matthew were in couples therapy prior to their split, noting that she and her ex definitely did try. "People evolve and people grow," she told host Tamron Hall. "And sometimes they grow together and sometimes, you unfortunately grow apart." While Cheryl has not been publicly linked to anyone else since she and Matthew ended things, the Mrs. Doubtfire star was recently spotted soaking up the sun on the beach in Hawaii with TLC singer Chili earlier this month. Though fans speculated that the two were dating, a representative for the No Scrubs singer said things between her client and Matthew are platonic. TLC had a show in Hawaii, Chili's representative told E! News August 10. They've been touring all summer and are heading to Australia soon. Matthew and Chili are friends and were taking a moment to get some sun after the show. They weren't by themselves, there was a group with them. Olivia Wilde on being publicly served custody papers. There's a reason I left, Jason Sudeikis. Olivia Wilde is speaking candidly about her split from her former fiancé Jason Sudeikis. In a new interview with Variety, the director opened up about an incident that happened in April, in which she was served custody papers while speaking on stage at CinemaCon promoting her upcoming film, Don't Worry Darling. Wilde and Sudeikis, who dated from 2011 to 2020, share 2 children, 8-year-old Otis Sudeikis and 5-year-old Daisy Sudeikis. "It was my workplace," Wilde said of the incident. "In any other workplace, it would be seen as an attack. It was really upsetting. It shouldn't have been able to happen. There was a huge breach in security, which is really scary. The hurdles that you had to jump through to get into that room with several badges, plus special COVID tests that had to be taken days in advance, which gave you wristbands that were necessary to gain access to the event. This was something that required forethought." A source at the time stated that Sudeikis had no prior knowledge of the time or place that the envelope would have been delivered, as this would solely be up to the process service company involved, and he would never condone her being served in such an inappropriate manner. Still, Wilde condemned the move as a way to detract attention from her real work. "I hated that this nastiness distracted from the work of so many different people and the studio that I was up there representing," she said. "To try to sabotage that was really vicious. But I had a job to do, I'm not easily distracted." Despite the seemingly hostile intentions, Wilde added, "Sadly, it was not something that was entirely surprising to me. I mean, there's a reason I left that relationship." Wilde and Sudeikis have landed on a split custody arrangement. with their kids going back and forth between them each week, she told Variety. When she's with her kids, she's as present as possible, making breakfast every morning, never missing bedtime, and taking them to school herself. They are my world, she said. They are my best friends. Of how the CinemaCon incident reflects back on her family, Wilde said, "The only people who suffered were my kids, because they'll have to see that, and they shouldn't ever have to know what happened. For me, it was appalling, but the victims were an 8- and 5-year-old, and that's really sad. I chose to become an actress. I willingly walked into the spotlight. But it's not something my children have asked for. And when my kids are dragged into it, it's deeply painful." Newlyweds Ben Affleck and Jennifer Lopez are hands-on while shopping during Italian honeymoon. Jennifer Lopez and Ben Affleck were full of affection during an outing in Milan on their honeymoon. Learn about their PDA-packed shopping trip. Jennifer Lopez and Ben Affleck packed the PDA for this trip. The newlyweds were seen sharing an embrace and a smooch while out shopping during their honeymoon in Milan, Italy on August 25. As seen in photos obtained by E! News, Jennifer sported a crop top paired with white trousers, gold jewelry and wedges. As for Ben, he rocked a pair of jeans with a blue button-up shirt and sleek sunglasses. 2 days prior, the newlyweds were spotted traveling around Lake Como. At the time, Ben was seen helping Jennifer into a water taxi as they enjoyed an evening by the water. Jennifer and Ben's Italian retreat comes just a few days after their wedding ceremony at Ben's estate in Savannah, Georgia. On August 20, the event marked wedding ceremony No. 2 for the husband and wife, as the pair legally wed in Las Vegas back in July. As for what went down at the Savannah celebration, an eyewitness told E! News that their kids Violet, 16, Serafina, 13, and Samuel, 10, who Ben shares with ex-wife Jennifer Garner, and twins Max and Emma, 14, who J.Lo shares with husband Mark Anthony, had a part in the ceremony. After exchanging vows, the eyewitness noted that the group posed for family photos on the dock by the water. But the special details didn't stop there. The very romantic and classic evening was made complete with an old-fashioned car parked in front of the estate ready to take them away. Now, the happy couple was been whisked away on an Italian adventure. Shia LaBeouf says his life was on fire before turning to religion in rare interview. According to Shia LaBeouf, there was a time in his life when he didn't want to be alive anymore, and he found a sense of direction through reading gospel. Get the details on his spiritual journey. Shia LaBeouf is getting candid about his spiritual journey. In 90-minute interview with Bishop Robert Barron for his Word on Fire YouTube series, the Transformers alum opened up about how a dark time in his life led him to re-examine his faith. Explaining how he was never an atheist, and had always considered himself to be an agnostic who liked to argue, LaBeouf recalled turning to religion when he felt like his life was on fire. "I was walking out of hell. It wasn't like I willingly came in here on a white horse, singing show tunes," he told Barron. "I didn't want to be an actor anymore and my life was a mess." Admitting that he had hurt a lot of people in the past, the actor remembered feeling a deep shame that made him contemplate suicide. "I had a gun on the table. I was outta here," he shared. "I didn't want to be alive anymore when all this happened. Shame like I had never experienced before, the kind of shame that you forget how to breathe. You don't know where to go." At the time, LaBeouf had just accepted the titular role in Padre Pio, the upcoming biopic about the Italian Franciscan Capuchin friar. In preparation for the part, the actor stayed at a monastery and started researching Catholicism. "Having no friends in my life, at this point," LaBeouf said he sensed a deep desire to hold on when he began reading the gospel. "And it stops being a prep for a movie and starts being something beyond all that," he continued. "I know now my God was using my ego to draw me to him." Elsewhere in the interview, LaBeouf explained how allegations of abuse made against him in the recent years led to an estrangement with his mother, who he described as embarrassed beyond all imagination, when the claims surfaced. "The news that had come out was like, I've been abusive to women, I'm shooting dogs, I've been willing giving women STDs, he said, calling the accusations depraved. However, according to LaBeouf, he was able to reconnect with his mom after finding peace through prayer and his studies at the monastery. "It was seeing other people who have sinned beyond anything I could ever conceptualize also being found in Christ that made me feel like, oh, that gives me hope," he explained. "I started hearing experiences of other depraved people who had found their way in this, and it made me feel like I had permission." In 2020, LaBeouf's ex, musician FKA Twigs, filed a lawsuit accusing him of relentless abuse and knowingly giving her a sexually transmitted disease. LaBeouf later denied the claims in a 2021 court filing obtained by E! News, saying that the singer has not suffered any injury or damage as a result of his actions. Earlier this year, LaBeouf became a father and those are also the most outstanding news that closes the Today Morning. Thank you to everyone for listening and following Fiddler Music Daily News. If you find the video interesting and useful, please click like and subscribe to our channel so you don't miss any of the latest entertainment as well as celebrity